What's good, everybody? Alright, so today we're back with another review, and I'm not going to waste any of your guys' time and just jump right into things. So today we're going to be reviewing Parfums de Marly Layton Exclusive. So as you can see, we got a pretty nice box here. You know, you got the dark blue Layton Exclusive right on the front. The top 3/4 of the box slides off like so, and the little pamphlet will fly out. And the bottom quarter of the box, as you can see, is where the bottle is held. Snug little box. And the bottom part of the box, the little velvet holder, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty nice. There's Edition Royale on the bottom. Nice velvet fabric. Now, before I get into the review, I want to jump into just a couple other things here that I think are kind of neat that I had seen elsewhere. Alright, so if you have a Parfums de Marly bottle and you have any doubt or questions whether your Parfums de Marly bottle is authentic or not, here's the thing for you. You can always weigh the cap. My scale declares that this cap weighs 4.50 ounces. So, give or take, all Parfums de Marly caps should weigh just about the same. They're not going to be, anything crazy apart, hit or miss. They might be off, whatever. The smallest amount, but nothing significant. This bottle's missing approximately 7 sprays. It's a 2.5 ounce bottle, 75 milliliters. We are going to weigh the bottle and cap. Bottle and cap, 12.95 ounces. Bottle without the cap, 8.45 ounces. So we'll run it back real quick. Cap alone runs to 4.55 ounces right now. Last time was 450. Bottle alone, 8.40 ounces, and I believe last time was 8.45, and I said this is a 2.5 ounce bottle. 75 milliliters, missing approximately 7 sprays. Oh, there it is, 8.45. Now, bottle with cap, 13 ounces. And last but not least, before we get into scent, another good thing to look for is your spray cap. If your spray cap is taller than it is shorter, you're in the clear. But if it's shorter than it is taller, problem. So remember, taller than shorter, good. Shorter than taller, no bueno. All right. Now for the review today, I'm going to be reading my notes directly from the notes to just kind of, give you guys the best in-depth and detailed experience that I had. I tested this and I wore this quite a few times. Like I said, approximately 7 sprays. That runs me about, give or take, a good three good wearings. 6:57 p.m. 1 spray to left wrist, dab on the right wrist, then apply to neck. Finished with 1 spray to chest. It opens similar to the original Layton in the sense of that camphor vibe. What I noticed though, almost immediately after the opening spray, is that there's this chocolatey note to my senses. If not chocolatey, then I'd say almond or hazelnut. Or maybe it's a mix of all three. Take into consideration, guys, I am new to the game. I've said it before. I'm not great with notes. I don't know notes, so bear with me. I can only tell you guys how my nose reads things and how it registers. Now, what I receive almost neck and neck is citrus. Truthfully, it's off-putting. To my nose, I get grapefruit and lemon, but when smelling it in the air, I don't receive the citrus nearly as much as, which that's good for me, because I'm not really a big fan of grapefruit as a scent. Upon smelling it directly on my shirt, that's when it becomes nauseating, because, I'm getting the direct smell. The grapefruit, it's right there, it's evident, it's obvious. I'm not into it, I don't like it. The grapefruit note is sour and bitter. 7:56 p.m., approximately an hour later. Projection has been weak, maybe chest and nose length for a short amount of time, but besides that, it never really occurred to me that I was picking up any whiffs, just about once in a blue moon. 7:59 p.m. One last spray to my right wrist again. I washed my hands shortly after my first spray, and I was afraid that I may have damaged the scent. So I wanted to be thorough to my knowledge and sprayed one more time. To my surprise, this one opened up quite a bit sweeter. The kind of sweet as if I took a pinch of sugar large enough to sprinkle and cover the top of a cut in half grapefruit. 8:20 p.m. Within the last half an hour plus, the citrus has died down. It's noticeably there, but it's better balanced. It's a much nicer version now versus when it was initially sprayed. It's a lightly sweet and almost a candy and tangy-like vibe, but in the most subtle manner. The vanilla note is obvious, but what's questionable to me is whether there are some woodsy notes or not. And I'm still getting that chocolatey vibe, with an almond or hazelnut. At one point, I feel as the scent has become warm. There was just this moment in time where I was standing there, and the way that, I don't know how to explain it, the scent was just warm. It was like moving, and it was there, and it seemed to be projecting up like another notch. Nothing crazy, because the whole time, to be honest, projection for me was kind of weak. I never really got any whiffs or anything to say like, hey, I'm here. It was just never really noticeable. It never occurred to me that it was even wearing anything. I had to constantly be thinking like, can I smell it? Am I smelling it? It just didn't work. So now, this is the next day in the morning. To me, it smelled like French vanilla coffee creamer in powder form, with almost that chalky type vibe, but without being chalky or powdery. And it took on that dull-like characteristic of powder form of coffee creamer. At the complete dry down next day, to me it smelled like a light vanilla bean ice cream type of scent. So in general, longevity is definitely there. It was on my shirt for 24 plus hours and about 11 hours on skin, maybe a little bit more. Nothing crazy, but enough to notice it and know that it was there. After this whole time period and dry down, I still picked up on that Vicks Vapor Rub scent again. For some reason this time, the whole scent feels and seems kind of light. I went in and read the notes, and I was wrong about the grapefruit. The citrus notes are mandarin and bergamot. So close, but not really. I can notice mandarin, but not enough for me to pinpoint it as that. And as for the bergamot is definitely a little more on the bitter side. The mix of the mandarin and the bergamot must have been what tricked my nose into reading it as grapefruit. As for the coffee note, I can see it being in there, but it's, I'd say it's on the lighter side. It's nothing, loud or saying, hey, I'm a coffee note. It's just kind of, whatever. Come to find out, there is an almond note, and there is an almond note in there, along with some sandalwood, and if I'm pronouncing this correctly, guaiac wood. And as for the rose and all the other notes, I can see the rose possibly being in there, but really with the rose and just all the other notes in general, I'm just not really picking anything else up. Taking into consideration, like I said, I'm new to the game, I'm not great with notes, I don't know notes. I'm just not picking up anything else, I just pretty much got what I got and nothing stuck out tremendously. Now in conclusion, to me, Layton Exclusif is nothing special. At the end of the day, if I had to say what I felt this scent was best for, I would say it's best for formal attire and formal events and situations, it can still pass off as casual, but to me, it just seems to be a little bit more of a sophisticated type of scent. But to me, at the end of the day, like I said, nothing special. That's a hard pass for me.